Welcome back, or welcome for the first time, to our Novel Gaming Podcast YouTube channel. I'm Vicky.
I'm Doug.
And I'm Katie.
And today's video is a little bit different from ones we've posted in the past. Instead of playing games together, we are talking about games.
Basically, we just pose the question, what are your favorite games to go outside in or explore in? And the cool thing about video games is that increasingly over the past decade, games have allowed you to explore realistic environments. Even if they're stylized, the way that they move and the way you can interact with them has skyrocketed. So we thought it would be a cool topic to check in on. We each prepared a list of 3 games that are our favorite ones or notable ones. So Katie, do you want to kick us off with one of the games on your list?
Yeah, so I tried to choose games that were intentional about nature. So the first one is Firewatch.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, it's an adventure game where you play as this person who gets a job in a Firewatch tower, and you kind of explore around the nature, and you try to, there's a little mystery going on, so you try to kind of explore and follow along with the story. But the nature, while not super realistic, is pretty realistic. There's beautiful sunsets. It's pretty much all set in a forest. There's lakes, there's trees, there's grass. There's mountains. And so you do a lot of walking around, you do a lot of kind of hiking around, and it's just really immersive.
That's awesome. I love Firewatch. I would have made my list had I thought about it, but I didn't think about it.
I don't even really know this game, so I'm immediately going to go look up the trailer on PlayStation Store.
Yeah. Vicky, what's your first offering to the nature gods?
Yeah. So I don't think I had a rhyme or reason necessarily for picking them. I wanted to pick 3 that were notable to me as I noticed and felt oh my gosh, this is a beautiful place to be and play a game. Mm-hmm. So my first pick is, it's kind of 3 games, but I picked, it's not God of War, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Assassin's Creed 2, and Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, for the same reason. So Odyssey takes place in ancient Greece, 2 and Brotherhood take place in Italy. Both places I'm really interested in the history and culture around, and when I play those games, and played multiple times, I really get sucked into the location and where I am, and appreciating oh yeah, sure, the objective is to climb on top of this temple and get this feather, but really oh, this is a temple to Jupiter, and there's people outside worshiping this Greek god. I enjoy those 3 in particular, Assassin's Creed, because I can go to a specific place and relive something that I've done in real life, and then also look at it from a historical perspective, more or less. So they're really, really cool. And Odyssey is just, it's massive and beautiful. Lots of good grass areas and farm stuff too, but I really like when you're in the towns and walking around what could have been ancient Greece.
That's really cool.
That makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm. Doug, what's your first one?
So my sort of approach was, what are games that I have forgotten to progress in because I've gotten so enamored with exploring, or sometimes it's not even exploring, it's just I just enjoy being in this environment so much that I've kind of forgotten that oh, that's right, there are objectives. So that was my approach to it. And the first one is Far Cry. Far Cry 3, Far Cry 5. And it's a Mars expansion. Oh. So we get to go outside on Mars.
Dang.
But I mentioned Far Cry because they tend to have really big maps. And they tend to be very, very open maps. And, with the exception of Mars, although not even really an exception, it's all outside and it's all open, and it's all very populated with plant life and animal life and all this sort of stuff. So cool. You could really, and I do, just get lost sometimes because I'm oh, I don't think I've ever been here before. And I can go up there. So let's go up there. And then you can collect plants and you can run into animals and so sometimes I just follow animals, or sometimes I'm just I wonder if there's anything up here. Far Cry 5 is just it's in Hope County, Montana. Which at first you're like, okay, it's just like the United
Mountains,
States, but
right?
like the United States has lots of really beautiful places, you know. Story, you know, nothing to write home about, but the map and the environment and all the work that they put in, especially to the, you know, new one or the most recent one, because there's a new one coming out, but is really really incredible. Well, what's next on your list, Katie?
Yeah, my next one is I think it's pronounced Abzu.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I know that oceans and water, especially deep water, is really scary. But this game did not scare me. And it's all about exploring deep water, deep ocean, deep seas type thing. So
Yeah.
you play as this diver being. You're not human, and you just kind of swim around and look at different places. This game was one of the first games where I was intentionally taking screenshots during my playthrough of it, and on the Switch it's so easy to take screenshots.
Love when that happens.
It's not a super long game, but it doesn't have to be. It's like a little puzzly, but not super puzzly. Yeah. How about you, Vicky? What's your second pick?
I think they're related with Abzu, but Flower was my second pick. Flower is a That Game Company game, and very peaceful, very calm. There's objectives, but the majority of the game is just like enjoying the scenery. You play as a pedal, and you just, you know, with the controller, fly and maneuver around valleys, grassy areas, and when you can interact with other flowers, you know, you can wake them up or change their colors, and then some more join you as you fly. And there is like a message of like, we're killing the earth, and you know, we have all these buildings and like things decay, and you get to help a little bit as the flower alleviate some of that, especially near the end. But it's just a really peaceful, beautiful game. The music is beautiful, and it's simple. There's not much to it, and there's no speaking or anything. It's just like pure landscape the whole way through.
How about you, Doug? What's your number two?
So my number two, like philosophically, maybe doesn't belong. And that's Spider-Man on PS4.
Oh, nice.
So, like, even though New York City is kind of the anti-environment, one of the things I really enjoy about outdoor settings is things that are just really big, things that make me feel really small. So, like the mountains in Far Cry, but also like in New York City, skyscrapers in New York or Chicago, stuff like that. I love those environments and the sort of scope of them. And then Spider-Man, you get to experience it from the street, from the side of the building, from the top of the building. It's just, I think it's a really peaceful environment for me. So it's cool. I like that. That game.
Oh, cool. And I'm going to round mine out with a game that I've been really playing a lot of lately and have legitimately... There are light objectives in this game, but Doug, that like, oh, what am I supposed to be doing, has set in so much in this game, potentially more than any other game I've played within recent memory. And that game is Eastshade.
Ooh,
yeah.
I'm excited to hear more about this one.
Yeah. So Eastshade is a game where you play as a traveling painter. You come to this area called Eastshade. It's not Earth, but it's kind of like Earth. And also there are no people. It's all kind of anthropomorphic animals who populate the towns and everything. But you basically just like walk around and explore and paint pictures for people. So folks want X, Y, or Z. So you go out, you find the location, and you paint X, Y, or Z. But it's got a lot of different types of environments. And a lot of different types of challenges. And I've ended up, you know, creating canvases and painting things that nobody even asked for just because I was like, dang, this is a beautiful spot. How about you, Vicky? What's your last pick?
My last pick, I feel like it's a little unconventional maybe. So I picked Ori and the Blind Forest.
Ooh.
And it's, you know, flat, it's 2D. but the environment just is stunning. I read a thing that said they hand drew a lot of the assets, and the big ones were not duplicated throughout the whole game, and it was a huge game. Yeah, so like each branch is just its own thing. It's huge. There's so many different areas of the game, because like you can go in the treetops, you could go down in some caverns, you could obviously like play in the tree roots, more like wooded traditional foresty areas, but it all feels very unique and just beautiful. And the way they do a lot of the lighting and some of the animals in there too are like the things that like attack you or that you can interact with. It's just so pretty. It's so pretty. So even though it's not realistic, you know, that's cartoony. Yeah, it just feels, it makes me feel like I am in nature and like pretty calm. Doug, what's your last pick?
Well, I'm realizing I have like a secondary theme along with my first primary theme here. I'm realizing the secondary theme is what games have big things I can climb up and then jump off of. Because I feel like it's not a surprise this game would end up on this list, but it's there for that reason, and that's Breath of the Wild. Which, like Far Cry, which, like Spider-Man, allows you to climb up very large things and jump off of them. But Breath of the Wild, I haven't finished that game because every time I start playing it, I'm like, oh, that's right, collecting things is so fun. Oh, that's right, following animals is so fun. Oh, that's right, climbing up mountains or literally anything you want is so much fun. And in that game, it's very, very intentional. You know, I don't know that I have anything new to say about it, especially with regards to the fact that it has an incredible environment that you can interact with, but it's just so peaceful and it's just so easy to get lost in because exploration was so intentionally built into it. Mm-hmm. That one definitely, I think, more so than any game I've ever played, really answers the question of which game am I likely to completely forget about the things I'm supposed to be doing.
Usually we have a little bit of crossover, so I had expected some. But this is a very, very diverse, very unique list.
Yeah.
If you want to let us know what would be on your list, drop some games in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe to stay connected with us.
And if you want more of this conversation, you can find a much longer version on our podcast episode that's linked in the description below.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.